Listen, I've had some crazy winners in my time, but this week was just different. It hit different, okay? We have taken the bookmakers for over $250,000. My clients have cleaned up, okay? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Horse Racing Mark. This week was insane, okay? This week was crazy. Make sure you subscribe, like, and follow this page, okay? There's a ton of new people watching my content, but make sure you subscribe, okay, so you don't miss out on any of my weekly reviews, like I'm going to give you an insane week, okay? And I have a ton of content coming out as well. Previews, reviews, and other cool stuff as well. Educational stuff to help you, okay? But this video, right, is a weekly review of my horse racing service from the 7th of April, right? This is going to epitomise what this game is all about, the ups and the downs, okay? So stick around till the end, and I promise you it's worth it, okay? Wait till you hear how the week performed for my private tipping service, okay? Absolutely insane, right? So let's get things started. The 7th of April, Monday, we had two selections. The 227 Redcar, we had Keats House, the Midland Park runner, advised 13-2, SP 5-1. This one was held up way off the pace, stayed on strongly into 6, but only beat 6 lengths. Would have went closer with a more prominent ride, but we had too much ground to make up, okay? I put a line for that run. And the next selection, we had the 335 Wolverhampton, we had Hymnbook, advised 13-2, SP 4-1. Rab Havlin was on this one, had a nice draw on the inside, was a bit keen early though, and just couldn't hold the early pitch, and that was key here. Got stuck in behind the leaders. The gap did open, turning in, but we're on the slowest part of the track on the inside. Did quicken a little bit, traded a bit shorter in running, but we finished a close third, so no damage done there. We had 13-2 each way, finished third, okay? On to Tuesday, the 8th of April, we had two selections at Southwell, right? 7 o'clock Southwell, Paint the Town Red, 20-1, SP 10-1. So this one was really strongly supported in the market. I had really strong information. This horse was a lot better than a mark of 67. We were unlucky here. Hollie Doyle has had a way off the pace, way off the pace. She finished like an absolute train into second. But you can't be giving a winner that amount of rope. She's probably made up 8 or 9 lengths inside the final furlong. But we're very unlucky there. Place money, but certainly one that got away, okay? 20-1 second. Second selection that day was in the 7:30 Southwell, Insupense, 25-1, SP 22-1. The word was this one had improved for the first run at Kempton, was wide throughout under Hector Crouch, just couldn't get in, and the writing was on the wall before they even turned in, okay? Did come with a run up the straight on the inside rail, on the stand side rail, but weakened inside the final furlong into 6, okay? Not beaten far, but just didn't get the best trip, okay? So one for the tracker in Suspense. Then we go on to Wednesday, the 9th of April. Just the one selection this day. It was a 335 Nottingham. Dream Illusion was advised at 6-1, SP 17-2. This one was very weak on the show, and I'm not sure why, because this horse was off, okay? They did fancy it. It was in a good spot under Clifford Lee. Box seat, gaps just didn't open. Got stuck behind a wall of horses, and the leaders fell on top of us. I think with a clean run, she would have ran closer. The horses that finished first and second came down the outside and got a clean run. But she's a nice filly, and certainly one that you want to keep on side, okay? But she just finished out the places, Dream Illusion. Then we get on to Thursday, the 10th of April, okay? Two selections. First one, 245 Newton Abbott was the foul. We tipped this up at 20-1, SP 11-1. God, we were unlucky here. This horse was smashed off the board. The Jimmy Frost trains the foul. Unfortunately, she's bled in the run. Like, she was absolutely cruising, right? And she's traded 11-4 in the run. So even the people in running who were betting this, she was the horse to be on. She's tracked the leader, and as soon as pushed the button on her, she's went backwards very, very quickly. And that's usually a clear sign that the horse has bled. And then obviously you go onto the BHA Stewards website, and obviously they confirmed the horse did have blood in its nose. Literally, that just means that when the horse is put under pressure, the blood vessels burst, the lungs fill up with blood, and that's why they stop so quickly. We're super unlucky there. The horse was pulled up, but 20-1. We looked like the winner, and 3 out. We're unlucky there, right? And onto the 420 Hereford, Portobello Girl. We advised this at 10-1, SP 7-1. Murray Dodd, he's had her in the right spot. She just got outpaced coming down the back and around the bend. The leaders got away from her. She's a lot better than a mark in 92. She finished 5th. She's not beaten far, but she's better than a mark of 92. But as I say, we're certainly not getting the rub of the green. We've painted the town red at Southwell, 20-1, should have won, and we had Southwell. Doesn't bleed. I think we're on to another 20-1 winner there. But it's part of the game though, right? But stick around. The best stuff's at the last, all right? Friday the 11th of April, we had one piece of information in Ireland. The 647 Ballon Robe. Restless Sun, 13-2 advised, SP 6-1. Again, variance wasn't kicking in here, and the gods were not looking down on us. Gary Noonan's had her in the perfect spot off a crawling pace, and she's traded very short and running as well. As soon as they raised the pace, though, and they quickened the tempo, she's made a mistake at the worst possible time 3 out, and then she was just on the back foot. She got outpaced. She's ran on again, but after that, she's made a mistake at the third last, and she's bunny hopped the last 2. And the mistakes cost us at the end. She's ran on, but it's a bunch finish. She's finished 8th. She's not beaten far, 5-6 lengths at the finish, but again, we're not getting the rub of the green here. But we move on to Saturday, right? The 12th of April. We had 3 pieces of information this day, okay? We had 2 at Ayr, and we had 1 at Newbury. The first one at Ayr was in the 110 Mallistic, 16-1 advised, SP 12-1. There was a non-runner in this race, so we're down to 7 runners, okay? 2 places, and it doesn't get any better, okay? We lost the shoe at the first fence, so the race was over. Put a line through that. So we backed at 16-1. It's went off 12s. We've lost the shoe at the first fence, okay? Absolutely insane. The run we're on at the moment, the bleeders, the unlucky runs, and now shoes falling off. Second selection was the 255 at Ayr, Foxy's Fancy, advised 12-1, and was smashed all the way into 6-1. This was from my top Northern contact, okay? Well ahead of its mark, that's what I was told, and would appreciate the step up in trip, would improve at least £6 to £8. This one's travelled like a dream under Paddy Wadge, but just too many mistakes down the back. Challenged 2 out, looked the winner. We traded very short in running here. We traded 8 to 13 in running, and we've just weakened at the last into 3rd, but I think if you take out the jumping errors, I think we go close. But we're certainly not getting the rub of the green here with a shoe falling off and with a horse just making too many mistakes. 12-1 into 6-1. We had the value, we just haven't hit that big winner yet. But it'll come, so stick around for that, okay? On to Sunday, the 13th of April. One strong piece of information, okay? At Stratford. 255. We had Clover Pass, 14-1, SP 11-2. This got smashed. We loomed up turning in under Murray Dodds, cantering. We just jumped in, we bumped into the rag of the field. We traded 1.36 and running for good money. What a run we're on right now. What a run. But again, however, this can't keep going on forever. I have saved the best till last, but we backed a 14-1 shot that's traded 4-11 at Stratford. We backed a 12-1 shot that's traded 4-7 at Ayr. We had a 20-1 shot that's traded 11-4 at Bled. A 20-1 shot that should have won. Absolutely insane, okay? And it's also important to note, we had another bet on Saturday, one that I actually missed there. We had a max info bet on Saturday, okay? And this was from my top Newmarket contact, okay? As you're aware, I have 2 horse racing services, okay? We have the £95 a month group, the Max Info group. And this group is tailored towards bigger punters who are having like 500 each way, £1,000, £2,000 on horses, okay? I do have clients who put that amount on, okay, because they trust me. I'm an industry professional. I'm expert for a racing post. My results are verified. People trust me. That is the confidence people have in me. And we also have the flagship service, the premium service, £50 a month, okay? This service is highly profitable and has been running for over 4 years. We're up 1,400 points profit in 3 years, okay? So don't think you're missing out on anything if you're in the premium group, okay? And I'm going to remind you later on in this video, you're certainly not missing out, okay? Both services are highly profitable. One extra selection was sent into Max Info on Saturday from the Newmarket contact. I was told this would improve the stone. And as you're aware, as I say, this contact is dynamite, okay? He's the one that gave us Jimmy Mark, okay? Oisin Murphy had Jonical in the perfect spot and was an easy winner of the Group 3. Okay, 12-1 Info Max winner landed that day. Absolutely insane. That's a very good contact, that one. So Max Info got a 12-1 winner, and the premium service had a 14-1 that finished second and traded 1.67. And then, as I say, we get on to Monday, the 14th of April, right? As I said, we leave the best till last, and we're going to rename this day Monday Madness, right? And I'm going to tell you why. And if you were on them, you know what I'm talking about, right? Two strong pieces of information. Stars had aligned, right? 7-10 Warwick, Highway 105, 10-1 advised, SP 11-2. Top Contact said this would win. Today was the day. But the run we've been on, I thought, this Contact's really good though. But I thought the run we've been on. However, the info always comes good in the end, okay? Lovely ride by Freddie Gordon. Produced perfectly 2 out and stayed on gamely. All clients were on, massive 10-1 info winner. Absolute massive, okay? Variance was always going to kick in. All my horses are trying, okay? All of them are trying. And you know that anyway. Even ones that are finished second and third, you can tell visually they're trying. But it gets better, okay? Monday Madness. 740 Warwick, Tara Humara, 14-1 advised, SP 10-1. Strong Contact gave me this. Money was on. This Contact is very reliable, but not one that I hear from often. That's the perfect Contact, not someone that's messaging you every day. I maybe get 2 messages a month off this Contact, okay? He said this horse would win. Held up, cruising, produced at the last. Jack Tudor got up on the line to land a famous double. Tara Humara, another info winner. So that was 2 info selections on Monday. 10-1 Highway 105 and 14-1 Tara Humara, both won, okay? Clients have had it off, right? We had quite I wouldn't say a tough week, all right? We were still hitting the place money, and you could visually see all the horses were trying. We just weren't getting the rub of the green. But this is why you have to look at things objectively and look at it from the long-term perspective, okay? We just landed a 140, 150, 160, 170 to 1 double, okay? And the singles. We've had it off. And I've seen some crazy betting slips from some of my clients. One of my clients has won over 15 grand from those 2 bets. 15 grand. He's won. And this is real, right? I've seen at least 30 betting slips that people have won 4 figures as well. We have comfortably taken $250,000 off the bookmakers on Monday, okay? Easily. This level of information is not readily available to the public, okay? If you look back on the week as a whole, we had Paint the Town Red, 20-1, should have won, was given a poor ride, 20-1 SP 10s. We had Zafal, 20-1, SP 11-1. Doesn't bleed, there's a 20-1 winner. We had Foxy's Fancy, 12-1 into 6-1. Cut out the mistakes, I think that one wins as well. And then we had Clover Pass, 14-1. Loomed up, we bumped into the rag of the field. We're unlucky, we traded 4-11. This is the level of information I have access to, okay? As you can imagine, I have thousands of paying monthly clients in the flagship service, the premium service. They were all on that double, okay? They're absolutely delighted, and that's what I want. I want punters to win. That's why I'm here, to provide value for clients and make long-term profit, okay? However, right, there are people out there who have joined the service, maybe for a week, 2 weeks, or a month, and they don't see the value in the service, which is mad, okay? Which is mad. And this is a minority. This is a minority, okay? I did have clients who, maybe 10 clients, who actually left the service between Saturday and Sunday because they weren't happy with 14-1 shots finishing third and 14-1 shots finishing second. I had clients who maybe joined for a week, 2 weeks. I had clients who've been in the service for over a year. And yeah, God, man, this is why you need to stick with it long term. You need to have a decent sample size. You leave a service and then the next day they have 140-1 double. No good, no good. And I must reiterate, right, that my service is only tailored towards long-term clients, long-term profit, okay? That's why we're here. And this week proves not every 20-1 shot is going to win. And you can all see that they're trying, okay? But things go wrong. Things go wrong. Poor ride, human error. Horses bleed. Shoes fall off. You bump into a rag. It can happen. But you need to trust me, okay? You need to trust me. Because I'm an industry professional. I'm expert for Racing Post. 1,400 points profit in 3 years for the flagship service, the £50 a month premium group. These numbers are absolutely insane. I have people on the Max Info putting thousands on all these horses because they trust me, okay? But this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. And if there's anybody out there who's on the sidelines, right, who is looking to join, I must reiterate this to you, right? This video can clearly show you that we're backing 20-1 shots that should be 2-1. They're all trying, but they still, sometimes they don't win. Things go wrong, bleeders, fallers, shoes fall off, human error. It can happen, okay? But if you stick around and you put your trust and your faith in me, okay, you will be rewarded. You will be rewarded, right? And thankfully, there's been hundreds of new paying clients who've joined in the last month alone, okay? And they've been rewarded handsomely. And I'd like to think now that they can put their trust in me to deliver long-term profit for them, okay? I'm an industry professional, okay? And the scary thing is, right, we're getting into the most profitable time of the year with unraised 2-year-olds and unraised 3-year-olds. This is where I have access to the barrier trials, the homework, and what the horses are doing at home. Back in 25-to-1 shots that are going off 2-to-1, which should be 2-to-1. And how I can really showcase that is Walnut, the horse that we backed last month. I got that from a small stable, 80-to-1. Was 5 lengths clear, turning in at Wolverhampton, and just got caught close home. 16-to-1 place money. Got beat a length, 80-to-1 first time out, small yard. And it certainly was no fluke, because next time out, backed it up at Chelmsford, doing the business. That was real information, and I have a ton of them coming up. Like, the scary thing is that we had massive double at Warwick, 14s and 10s. But I have better stuff in the pipeline coming up. So if you're on the sidelines, so I'm serious, you can't be sitting on the sidelines forever. 99% of punters lose. Like, we're winning. This is the 1%. Like, you can't sit on the sidelines forever, okay? If you want to get on board, right, and join my horse racing service, and I've had hundreds of people join from YouTube alone, okay? The link is in bio. Drop me a comment or drop me a DM, and I will get back to you, okay? We have the Max Info service, £95 a month, and that's more tailored towards bigger punters, and there are limited spaces, and I must reiterate that, limited spaces, because I can't have 500 punters having £1,000 on a 50-to-1 shot. There's just not enough liquidity in the market to manage that. However, the premium service, the flagship service, is highly profitable, okay, to £50 a month, and you're not missing out on anything, okay? And I must reiterate that as well. Both are highly profitable, and you will make money long term, okay? But as I say, you want to get on board, link is in bio. And also, clients of my horse racing service, comment below how you thought the week went, okay? The ups, the downs, and then the ups again at Warwick. I want to know, how much did you have on the singles and how much did you have on the doubles? And also, genuine feedback. The positives, the negatives, things that I could improve on. All feedback is welcome, okay? And I respect everyone's opinion. So please, comment below how you're finding the horse racing service, because there will be people who are skeptical about joining my horse racing service, because there is bad actors out there. But a simple Google search, you can see, people know who I am, bet for a racing post. But again, people should be skeptical, okay? I love this week, the ups and the downs, okay? I will be back, though, with another weekly review, and I'm going to do some more educational content, okay? Previews and reviews. Get engaged with all of you and get more people on board. So make sure you subscribe, like, and follow this page. You don't miss my latest video, okay? And also, comment below how you're finding things, okay? I'll be in touch. Good luck.